You're very welcome back. You've been away from us for approximately 3 minutes or 4 maybe. Imagine what it must feel like to be away for 22 years. That's the length of time Shamrock Rovers have had to endure on the road since the loss of the fans' beloved Glenmalure Park in Milltown. Well, that 22 years came to an end on Friday, and what proved to be a hugely emotional night for everybody associated with the club. Tony O'Donoghue was at the Tallaght Stadium as Rovers finally reached the promised land.
It's been 22 years since Shamrock Rovers lost their home. The club spent 61 years in Milltown, achieving unrivalled success, 12 league titles and 23 FAI Cup victories. In 1987, the grass was allowed grow and the gates were closed forever. But finally, hope has returned to the hoops. The Rovers are back and on their way to a new home in Tallaght.
Well, basically we're the Shamrock Rovers Supporters Club, pride of Ringsend, and obviously this is one of the most important days in Shamrock Rovers history. We've been waiting for this day for a very long time. We're going to start the journey from Ringsend, the birthplace of Shamrock Rovers in 1901. We were just founded around the corner there, not so far from here. It's just an amazing day, it's a fabulous day. This is for the fans and everyone deserves it. You know, it's a fantastic day, and roll on Tallaght.
Before the pride of Ringsend hit the N81, they made a poignant stop at their old home.
You know, all the new kids have got to get into Tallaght now and see what Rovers is all about. They'll have a great time.
As the Tallaght Stadium came into view, excitement grew.
We're not homeless, we're not homeless, we're not homeless anymore.
From early in the day, fans old and young had gathered in the nearby hotel to let Dublin know that Tallaght on this day was green and white. And if you didn't have any green or white, well, you could always purchase some in the very snazzy club shop. Now there's posh. It was definitely a day for the fans who were much appreciated by former players, fans who supported the club when they were most needed.
It's very hard to describe the emotion that the people who kept the club alive, because whilst there are tens of thousands of people who have a great affiliation to Shamrock Rovers, it's a small number who put the money and some put their homes and some more than the hopes on the line for this football club. Some of them have passed on, they're not here, which brings a poignancy to the situation as well. But overall, I think you've only got to sense and feel the atmosphere to understand exactly what it's about.
Fans are the pulse of Rovers, and the McGlones have been supporting the hoops for 3 generations.
My dad has been going into Rovers since, I think, as you were saying, 1956, you know, the cup final where we 2-0 down against Cork, we came back to win 3-2. I came along in 1969, and my first match that I can remember was in mid-70s, 74, 75, you know, I don't remember it too clearly, but I've been going ever since, you know, and it's just a family thing. In 1990, my son came along, Lee, he came along, he was born on the 12th of August 1990, and then 5 weeks later we played Pats in our first game in the RDS with 27,000 there, and he was 5 weeks old there, dressed in his green and white hat, green and white shorts, boots and everything like that, and he's been going ever since. And then we have Callan there, my other son there, he's going in since a couple of years old now, and it's just what we do, you know what I mean? It's just, you couldn't do anything else, you know.
We've all got green and white hoop blood, you know, and this red blood thing is good.
With it being the historic first game, the cameras were in town as kick-off fast approached. The wind and rain tried to spoil the occasion, but Rovers, Shamrock and Sligo created a terrific atmosphere as both teams emerged.
It is Shamrock Rovers who will begin life in Tallaght, playing from right to left.
Shamrock Rovers hit the ground running as new signing Shane Robinson showed great pace and not a little skill to slip the ball to Twig, who put it away. Offside though. It was a full-blooded encounter, with Paul Cook Sligo hoping to spoil the party. But it was the home side who struck first. Bradley's free kick flicked on by Robinson and Rice, Gary Twig producing a sublime finish.
Oh, and there's the goal his first goal for the club, and the first goal in Tallaght scored by Gary Twigg.
Rovers should have doubled their lead. Fullback Madden crossed, but Twigg failed to convert. O'Neill disappointed. Sligo only started to play towards the end of the half. This interchange saw Rafael Cratero's shot deflected over. Hoops thought they'd doubled their lead, but this effort was ruled out for a Desi Baker push at the back post. Half-time, the fans happy, and Rovers legends Mick and Pat Byrne receiving a standing ovation from the crowd. Rovers straight at it again. Man of the match Robinson produced a fine save from Richard Brush. But Rovers got that crucial second goal just a few minutes later.
Cahill beats Noctor, and another man too. Brilliant from Ollie Cahill. They're queuing up, waiting for the cross. Baker took a deflection on the way through, maybe off Holmes, but Desi Baker at last doubles the advantage for Shamrock Rovers.
Paul Cook responded with a double substitution. The change in personnel galvanised Sligo, and Cratara could have done better at the back post. Sligo then grabbed a foothold in the match, giving the home side a nervy last 8 minutes.
Morrison promising this for Sligo on the back stick, and they've a goal back.
The home crowd screaming for the final whistle as Sligo created one final chance.
The whistle in the referee's mouth that it's over, and Shamrock Rovers begin life in Tallaght with a victory.
It was a historic moment for the Shamrock Rovers Football Club and all the fans, and you've delivered them the right result at the end.
Yeah, I thought we played excellent, particularly in the first half. Started the second half as well. You know, we started the game great, got the second goal, looked as if we were going to add to that. But then, you know, I think a little bit of nervousness crept into our game, probably crept into the crowd as well. It meant so much to go and win the game, and we ended up sort of maybe just defending a wee bit more than we would have liked for the last 5 or 10 minutes, but we're delighted with the performance overall.
It's been fantastic, you know, the whole week has been so exciting, you know, for players and for fans, and it was great to get a goal out there tonight as well. It made it extra special for me, myself, and it was great for the lads to get the 3 points, you know.
At the finish there was hardly a dry eye in the house, and the party was just beginning. But you know, you wouldn't begrudge them their moment. The Hoops finally found a home after 22 years on the road.
Dave, I know you want to talk about Tony's hat, but let's talk about Shamrock Rovers. Great occasion, a magnificent occasion.
Yeah, I must say, Friday night I was down at the St. Pat's game, and you know, I made sure that I taped it because I wanted to watch it. You know, Shamrock Rovers going back into their own, you know, into Tallaght, their own home ground. And over the years, I've met so many Shamrock Rovers supporters, you know, travelling around, and they've been so disappointed with Milltown and the whole, you know, thing, that the way it fell apart there. But you have to say, on the night, it was Shamrock Rovers' night. You know, they played exceptionally well. I watched it, I sat down, and I must give credit to everybody, all the supporters, the 400 club. That's what, to me, that's what sport is all about. Instead of taking money out of sport, these people sat together, got together, bonded together, and that's the fruition of what they've done for the last number of years. It's great to see supporters banding together and keeping the club alive.
Roddy, you know how passionate the Shamrock Rovers fans are, and it's
especially you, Con.
The potential in Tallaght is great.
It's brilliant. Just saying earlier, you know, if they don't crack it up in Tallaght, the league's in big trouble, but I think they will. I think they have a good young manager there. He's brought, I mean, you're judged by the people you sign. He's been in the short period of time. He brought Twigg in, who looks to me someone that's going to score a lot of goals. They played good football, they entertained the crowd that was there, and that crowd will come back. So yeah, we need a strong Shamrock Rovers, a strong pass, a strong balls for the capital, and hopefully that they can maintain some sort of They're not going to win a league this year, but maintain their performances through to the end of the season and get a good cup run to keep the interest. The younger supporters is going to come along.
Lots of kids in those shops.
Lots of kids, yeah, and that's what you're banking on. You know, the old Shamrock Rovers people have moved on. There's a few left, but you need to build on the new young supporters.
There's plenty of oldies there.
Well,
a lot of grey-haired people as well. Richie, a quick word about Sligo, because I'm just wondering, is that kind of evidence of a shallow squad that they have? You know, a few injuries and they struggle a little bit, maybe.
To be honest, I think every club, I don't know the specific numbers everywhere, but all the people I've been speaking in the close season said everyone's working off smaller numbers, trying to spend as little money as possible, basically, and hope that, you know, you're going to get 3 or 4 injuries at any given time. Probably you just hope that it's not your key players in the big positions. And we were battered with injuries at Pats in our pre-season. No other clubs have been the same, so you would hope they wouldn't be out for too long.
I think it's after leveling out, isn't it, Rich? I think with all the, you know, the negativity that went on, financial problems last year, I think squads have got smaller. I think all the players have spread it out right across the league, and it's going to make it very interesting this season, I think.
Okay, well.